Look, it's dark outside. Whoa. We're coming into winter. So with that, I've got some pretty dark thoughts to explore. So, nobody ever told me, well actually, that would be a lie. I remember playing saxophone. I used to play saxophone and I used to go to lessons every Saturday. And I became good friends with my saxophone teacher. And I remember discussing something philosophical with him before a lesson. And he said to me, like, be careful. Don't go too deep into these topics. And don't get me wrong, at the time, this was maybe 6 or 7 years back. More. Fuck. At the time, I knew what he was warning against. If you develop too clear a picture of reality in your mind, it may scare the shit out of you. I even knew that at the time. But I have forged on ever since then. I've continued studying because I have a perverse desire, in the good sense, to deeply understand the reality that we inhabit in all of its beauty and ugliness. Like, that's love. Okay, so where was I going with this? Yeah, he warned against studying philosophy too in depth. Yeah, so this evening I just came to the realization, oh wow, there is a clear picture coalescing in my mind. Does a picture coalesce? There is a model of reality under construction in my mind that has been under construction for quite some time now. Many years. many hours of study and work gone into this frickin' model of the mind. No, model in the mind of the world. It's coalescing. It is becoming ever more clear to me, the world I live in. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that in the set of unknown unknowns, there's far more than in this set of my known knowns and known unknowns. But I just had a thought this evening, and it's an important one. It actually explains a lot of our environmental or ecological issues, which is a major concern of mine, because I love the earth, I love the world, I love animals and plants and mushrooms, fungi. They're crazy. Fungi. The function of fungi in the forest and in the grassland as well. Phew. What a weird biological thing. I hesitate even to call it an organism, even though, like, technically I think it is. Like, it feeds itself, it excretes, it moves, it explores. But come on, mushrooms. They are weird. They're like aliens. Where was I going with that? Yes. This story in my mind of what the world is has suggested something this evening. And it said this. If you haven't read this paper, I would recommend you read it. Let me just get it. 1 sec. Here's the paper. How did humans evolve? Reflections on the Uniquely Unique Species by Richard D. Alexander. This is a freaking amazing paper because it says that as soon as humans reach what is technically called ecological dominance, our attention is turned from the threats that natural disasters and the likes used to pose to us, used to pose to our populations, as in when our populations were such that a flood could wipe us out or an earthquake. As soon as we overcome said natural disaster threats, our attention turns now to neighbouring populations of people. They now become our population's biggest threat to existence. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that within us there evolved a program that says, okay, as soon as these people try to take what's yours, don't let them. And on top of that, do what you must to take what is theirs. Okay, because the attacking population, a genetic program tripped in their bodies that said, oh shit, we're running low on a particular resource, be it water, like access to fresh water, be it food, access to sufficient calories, be it territory where the herds roamed, there was competition over these things. Oh shit, we're low on territory. Take it from them. is what the program says. So we have that built into us. But we humans, modern humans, don't really believe this. We're like, nah, we're above that. We're moral. We have morals. And we respect each other's human dignity and human rights. And I think to myself, yeah, we do, yeah, because conditions right now facilitate such thinking. But as soon as conditions change, in other words, as soon as we move from a predominantly growth period of the economy to a predominantly contraction period of the economy, and people begin feeling the pinch, the nice ideas about morals, dignity and rights, they go out the window. They're gone. So I'm like, this isn't funny. This is actually tragic. It's very dangerous. But so what we have been doing during this growth period is, instead of stealing from each other, like the neighbouring populations of times gone by, we've been stealing from future generations. And so we think, no, we're moral and we're good. Nah. The materials and know-how and like what it took to gain the know-how for making this camera that I'm shooting this video on have been stolen from future generations. That's bad. If our morality was real morality, we would recognize that for what it is, and we wouldn't continue lying to ourselves, making ourselves feel good. So that was the realization I had this evening. Fuck, that's a bad realization. But yeah, the new Naturalist, this is a model of reality, yeah? A way of thinking that makes logical sense. Because I want to understand where we are in the world, in time, in space. And I promise you, I'm not tripping right now. I am sober as but I want to know what the crack is. What is the story? What's the story, Harsh? What is going on? Why are we doing what we're doing? It gets philosophical after like a few minutes of discussion or monologue. This stuff gets philosophical. What are we at? Seriously, what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to have two eyes? Teeth, a mouth, fingers. This is crazy.